Listen, so sometimes the best thing to do is just fire yourself. Let's talk about it.
Dearly beloved, we are
their well-being.
What's going on, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Elevate. Don't hesitate. Hope all is well in your world. Listen, we got another great episode for you this week. We're going to jump right into it. Listen, I think sometimes the best thing that leaders can do is just fire themselves. Okay, just fire yourself. I mean, I think it will solve a lot of problems if you just fire yourself. Now, hold on. Before you pack your bag and go to HR, I don't mean literally, I mean figuratively. And the reason I say this is when you fire yourself in this way, it allows you to step back, to say, if I was hiring for this role, what's missing right now? What are we not doing? What are some things that have become repetitive that maybe should change? What are some of the gaps that need to be filled in that are not happening right now? So take that step back, look at your position from a subjective eye, and ask yourself, what's missing? What are we not doing? What are we doing too much of? What are some things that maybe we could get rid of? What are some things that maybe that the next time whoever fills this role next, they can improve upon this by doing this? Sometimes we get so comfortable in our roles that we just kind of sit back and we don't really allow ourselves the space and the grace to grow. And what better way to grow than to know you don't have a job? Okay. Now, once you do this exercise, it allows you to see things from a different perspective. It allows you to see things from a different point of view. It allows you to finally say, okay, this is what we've been doing. This is what has worked. This is what isn't working. And so now when you go back in to rehire yourself, you now have these tools at your disposal because you took a real hard look at what you're doing. You took a real hard look at what this job requires. And if someone else was to come in and fill this position, if someone else was to come in and now be the boss, what are the things that they would bring in, right? Because when you're going out for a job, when you're first interviewing, you're hungry, you have all these great ideas, and when you get in, you kind of lose that steam. So when you go back in, when you rehire yourself, okay, go back in now with a different type of eye on the problems, a different type of eye on what's going on. And what you can do now is you can have the ability to kind of innovate the things that have been stagnant, to innovate those things that maybe haven't been as concise as we need for them to be. And now you can kind of go in and say, this is what we're going to do to flip things up and make things a little bit better. All right. So the second thing I want us to focus on today is I want us to make dopamine doable. And what I mean by that is sometimes we go into jobs and people go in and they're just like, it's a paycheck. Let me go show up. And it's really not a lot of passion there. But if you can create things within the job that allow people to get that excitement, to feel like they're worthy, to feel like, man, I'm doing something more than just getting a paycheck. I promise you it will pay major dividends down the road. So create like winnable things, like winnable opportunities, small goals that you can say, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to focus on these small wins. We're going to work on giving instant feedback. We're going to have healthy competition within the office, because what it does is it causes people to not just come to work to get a check and be mundane. It causes them to show up. It causes them to be sharper, and it causes them to want to be a part of the bigger picture, a part of what's going on in a much larger way. So make sure that that you allow dopamine to show up so that people can be excited about doing the work that they do. Listen, work should not feel like a punishment. Work should not feel like a punishment. We have the ability as leaders to not make work feel like a punishment. And I know that's weird. People are like, how can work feel like a punishment? Go ask your employees, do a survey and ask them, do you think work feels like a punishment at times? And just see like what kind of response you get. Now, if you're not really about that life, don't do it. Cause I promise you, you're going to get some answers that you probably didn't expect. Work can feel like a punishment for people at times, you know, But there's ways as a leader that we can help to bypass that feeling. And I believe when we add dopamine in, it's a beautiful way of showing people how they can be a part of what we got going on, and how they can continue to grow. And the third thing I want us to focus on today is, listen, take the leadership to the people. Okay? Take leadership to the people. And I'm not saying you do this as a leader, because I know you would never do this. But sometimes leaders just they're in their office and they are working for sure. We know they're working because that's why they're in a leadership position. But sometimes we never see you. We see you at Monday morning huddles for that 35-minute talk that you give that people are like trying to stay awake. I'm here to tell you the truth, right? But other than that, we don't really ever see you. So leaders have to learn to take leadership to the people. What I mean by that is, if you're walking the hall, why can't we have a 5-minute meeting while we walk? Why is it impossible for us to do things in an innovative fashion? Why is it impossible for us to talk to you and without feeling like, oh, here comes? And again, respect is always due. Okay, we are 100% not talking about respect. We're just talking about the air of a leader. And sometimes I put it like this: the best leaders are the leaders that people feel like, man, I respect this person to the utmost because they're human beings and they act like a human being. And they don't come across lofty. They don't come across as if they're better than me. They are a human being just like me. And I respect that. So when I say take the leadership to the people, it means come out of your office for a little while. Go around, talk to people, make people feel comfortable. Why? Because good leaders, people do what? They automatically gravitate towards them. So as a leader, I'm asking you this question: what is your gravity like? What does the orbit around you look like? Can you look out and the orbit is full of folks? Or do you look out and it's just nothing? Ask yourself. That's a true test. And if you are about that life, I encourage you to really ask yourself that question. Do people like naturally gravitate towards me? If they do, then you're on the right path. If they don't, then you got to reevaluate. Fire yourself, reevaluate, and see what's going on. All right, listen, this talk for today may have been a little difficult for some folks, but it's okay, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to move beyond the mundane. We're here to push ourselves and challenge ourselves. And that's what I love to do. I love to go into corporations and shake things up in a way that doesn't totally disrupt everything you're doing in the business, but it does enough disruption so that we can help the ground and massage the ground where it was rocky and rough, and we really didn't get much seed growth. And I come in and I help you to like till that earth a little bit. And guess what? When you're outside in your garden and you got to till that earth, you get a little sweaty. Sometimes you got to get down on your knees. You got to get down in the dirt. And at first, the work feels like, man, this is a lot of work. And I don't know. But after a while, all these wonderful seeds start to blossom and bloom and grow. And you look back and you say, it was because I did the work. So if that's you, if you're a company that's like, hey, we need to do the work, our C-suite needs to do the work, we need to come and hear some harsh truths that are going to help us grow and be better, then who better to bring in than Rashad Rayford? Because he is going to help you do exactly what you need to do in a creative way that helps us go where we're trying to go. Listen, I love serving companies. And if that is you, if you need a keynote speaker, I would love to come in and help serve you and your people doing what I love to do. Just help you in a creative way. So listen, thank you guys again. Thank you all for the love for the channel, for everybody who's subscribing, everybody who's sharing the videos. If you know somebody who needs this message, make sure you send it to them. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share. And I'm going to leave you like I always do. Until next time, y'all. Peace.